Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic now, the moment that you watch this video. It is February 28th, the last day in February here in 2018, and having a fantastic morning. For me, typical morning. Got the oldest off to school, then the other two, and then ran to my office, talked to one of my partners, working on a case together. Things are going well with the client, so it looks like we'll kind of finish that one off. And then now heading here to Wausau East High School to talk to 3 classes about personal branding, and really a few things that came up yesterday at Mosinee High School and talking about the same thing. Personal branding is that cover letters, resumes are basically kind of a dead tool. Probably still really use them, but I was talking to freshmen yesterday, not really going to be using them going forward for them, but definitely will be using them if, let's say, you're a senior in high school. But definitely it's going digital, and the opportunity to be able to really make sure that you're controlling your digital footprint, extremely critical. And I think it'll be more and more common to have just a side hustle. Hi there, here at Wausau High School, here to talk about personal branding. Was thinking about the poem, The Dash, where it has basically the year that you're born, the year that you die, and in between your dash is basically how it's spent. So really comes down to the thought process of what are you going to do with your dash? Everyone's got one, no one knows how long it's going to be, and so the question is what is that impact that you want to have on the world, the people that you care about, the people that are not yet in your life, the people that you would love to be able to inspire and help and leave that kind of legacy. And so I think a lot of times when you come from that kind of perspective of, it does come from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's the idea that you start with the end in mind and then work backwards. They do have one of these exercises, if you take one of the courses, is you actually write down, if you're at your own funeral and you're writing the eulogy for, let's say, your spouse or your children, or even yourself, if you were going to give your own eulogy for your own funeral, what would you say of yourself? And then with what you'd want to be said, you look at your current life right now and say, okay, what am I doing right now to be able to live that kind of life? And so I know for a lot of people, when we look introspectively at ourselves, we'll identify some certain things that we're doing or not doing that we'd want to change. And so really the question is, how are you going to spend your dash? Hi there, hope you're doing great. I've been talking about personal brands to some high school students the last day and a half. And so here are my takeaways. Number 1 is I'm a firm believer that it'll be still very common in the future, and much more common. I think more than the majority of individuals will have like a side hustle. They'll be doing something in order to generate an income, whether that's driving Uber or Lyft on the weekend, renting out their house or their cabin for Airbnb, looking for opportunities to generate a little bit more income for themselves and their families, or leveraging social media, whether they have starting a presence online, having some YouTube videos, having a personal brand, something that they're passionate about that's kind of just coinciding with what they do. I don't know if a lot of people will end up wanting to become entrepreneurial because of that, or just that'll just be something that's happening on the side, whether they're making $50, $100, $200 a month, being able to leverage the power of social media and the tool that I'm talking to you on this, and that's a cell phone, which you're consuming it probably more likely than not on a cell phone or a tablet. And so it's a really interesting world that we live in right now. And so what I was telling them is niche is king. The more specific, the more you have an opportunity to speak to the world. There's 7.2, 7.3 billion people worldwide, and monthly active users, 2 billion are on Facebook. Daily active users, 1.15 billion. That's as of probably January of 2018. Numbers are just still continuing to rise. And so if, let's say, you're really into 1990s Japanese cars and fixing them up, tricking them out, there's an entire audience worldwide that will love to see your YouTube channel as you're fixing those cars. Would love to be able to see as you're driving those cars. Would love to see what you're doing in order to share that message with an audience. And so I find it really interesting, the world that we live in right now. And I find that if you're going to work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks per year, so that's 2,000 hours a year, and you're going to do that for the next 35 years, 70,000 total of your hours of life, then you may as well do something that you enjoy and you're passionate about and that you like. If you need a book to be able to find out what you're really passionate about, look at the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Look at another book by Chris Gardner called Start Where You Are. And I find for a lot of people, they just don't take the time to take that step back figuratively and say, what should I be doing with my professional career? What should I be doing that I get excited about? I'm passionate about helping others, or, talking about animal care. There's just a multitude of different things that you could be doing out there. That old phrase, there's a million ways to earn a buck. There really is a million ways to earn a buck. And the other thing that came out of the personal brand is not only can you be able to monetize, and again, it doesn't need to be monetized that you leave your entire career just to chase your passion, but wouldn't it be a lot of fun that, you have this little thing that's generating you a bit of income, maybe it's $1,000 a month, and you're able to do stand-up comedy or do these skits or do a little bit of acting with something that you've created on your own, something that you just really enjoy doing. I find that to be extremely fun. And if there's an opportunity that you can fold that in and actually generate an income that's going to provide for all of your wants and needs, and it's something that you're super passionate about, I find that very exciting. And it still hit at home the 4 pillars I call of leveraging social media. Number 1, know the platforms which you're using and know the audience that exist on those. Number 2 is look at your posting strategy, the power of video, the power of hashtags, the power of tagging places, businesses, and individuals. The next one is number 3 pillar is the power of your content. Know, number 1, what are you most comfortable communicating in? And then the other thing to think about is what is your audience going to want to be able to consume from a content perspective? And the last one is engagement. And you can't really have engagement with the first 3 pillars, but realtors say location, location, location. Social media, it's engagement, engagement, engagement. And so you want to be able to curate or DJ your content for your specific audience. So if, let's say you have 10 followers, reach out to those 10 people. What more do they want to get from you? How can you help them? What's on their mind? And directly deliver your content to those 10 people. And the greater the quality of the content of those individuals that you're speaking to, they're going to share it automatically because you're speaking directly to them and what's on their mind. How do you think social media is going to change your industry, your career? And are you ignoring it like someone did with email, or are you ignoring it like someone did with websites like the .coms, or are you embracing it and looking at ways to be able to fold it into your life? Sherm's out. Recap here. Today, Wednesday, was able to meet with Junior Achievement, talking to the high school seniors about personal branding, and really wanted to be able to hit home for them that they can chase their passions as they're working 2,000 hours a year, maybe even for 35 years, 70,000 hours for their next life. If they go to college, obviously pull it back a little bit. But ultimately for them, put something that you're passionate about, put something that you're interested in, put something that you're excited about. And guess what? If you're not excited talking about it, you'll be able to know immediately the moment that you start making a podcast or YouTube or posting it up on Instagram, you'll notice really quickly, are you really into those things? Then after that, came home, had some lunch with my wife, and then went back to the office and sent out some emails, uploaded some more contacts into my contact management system, and then tonight was Boy Scout night, and so engaged with the youth there. So that was a lot of fun, and then we're planning up for our camp out on Friday. So that was the recap of the day. Hope you guys are doing really well. Sherm's out. Oh, question before Sherm's out. What more would you like to see in my vlog? Put your comments below. Sherm's out.